Most people lose thousands of dollars at car dealerships, and it's not because they picked the wrong car, it's because they asked the wrong questions. The reality is, dealerships know exactly how to make you feel comfortable while quietly stacking extra costs you didn't agree to. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you the 5 critical questions every buyer needs to ask, plus one powerful bonus question that dealers absolutely hate. These questions are simple, but they could save you from wasting your money, your time, and your sanity. So before you even think about signing those papers, listen closely. By the end, you'll be the person dealerships fear, an informed buyer they can't push around. And if you like being the smartest person in the room when it comes to money decisions, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I've got plenty more coming that will save you even more. All right, let's get into it. Example 1, the hidden fees trap. Here's a truth you might not like. The price on the sticker is almost never the real price. A dealership will happily show you a car online that looks like a great deal, but by the time they've added fees, packages, and necessary paperwork charges, you're suddenly looking at thousands more than what you planned to spend. This is why your very first move needs to be this question. Besides price and taxes, what other fees are associated with this purchase? Say it exactly like that. Don't change the wording. Don't leave room for them to dance around the truth. If they try to gloss over it, press again. Why? Because fees are where many dealerships quietly cash in. Dealer fees, prep fees, filing fees, protection packages. Half of these aren't even necessary. Here's one example that still shocks people. In Florida, the electronic filing fee is legally only 99 dimes. But I've seen dealers charge $500, $600, even $900 for it. That's pure profit padding. If you don't know to ask, you pay it without even realizing it. The beauty of this question is that it locks the dealer into transparency. If they tell you over the phone that there are no add-ons and then try to sneak some in later, you've got the upper hand. You can point back to your earlier question and say, no, that wasn't disclosed, take it off. And 9 times out of 10, they will. But here's the thing, fees are just the first hurdle. Even if you dodge them, the person you're talking to might be the bigger problem. Example 2, the salesperson's experience. Here's a scenario you've probably lived before. You walk onto a lot, excited about a car, and a salesperson greets you with a big smile. They seem friendly enough, but here's what you don't know. A lot of new salespeople are pressured by their managers to use shady tactics. They don't have the experience to push back, so they pass that pressure right on to you. That's why your next question is, how long have you been with the dealership? This isn't about being nosy. It's about testing honesty and gauging who you're dealing with. If they say 10 years, but a quick LinkedIn check shows 6 months, you already know they're willing to lie. And if they're lying about that, what else are they hiding? Here's the truth. Veteran salespeople are almost always a safer bet. They've built reputations, they know their reviews matter, and they're less likely to risk their careers over one quick sale. Now, I'm not saying every rookie salesperson is bad. Some are honest and hardworking. But the game they're playing is stacked against them, and that makes it dangerous for you. So ask the question, listen carefully, and watch their body language. If they stumble, exaggerate, or give you a number that doesn't add up, you've just learned something very important. Because even if the salesperson is honest, the car itself might not be. Example 3, the non-factory add-on trick. Here's where dealerships get sneaky. You walk in thinking you're buying the car you saw online. Same price, same condition. But what they don't tell you is that they've added extras you never asked for, and now the price has magically gone up. So your question is, what non-factory items are installed on this car? Say it just like that, non-factory items. This wording forces them to reveal whether the car has anything that didn't come straight from the manufacturer. Why does this matter? Because those little extras, things like window etching, pinstripes, mud flaps, or protection coatings, are usually pure profit. The dealer might charge you $200 for something that cost them $50. Now, this isn't always a deal breaker. If you're buying something like a Corvette, mods like an upgraded exhaust or even a supercharger might actually add value. But in most cases, these extras are just fluff. And here's the best part. If they didn't disclose it when you asked earlier, you now have negotiating power. You can say, I asked before and was told there were no add-ons. So if these weren't disclosed, they need to come off. Boom! You just saved yourself a chunk of money. But okay, let's say you agree to the price and drive away. What happens if tomorrow the car starts making noises you didn't hear on the test drive? That's when this next question becomes a lifesaver. Example 4. Return an amp repair policy. This is the one nobody thinks to ask until it's too late. What happens if you buy the car and then discover something's wrong? That's where you ask, what's your return policy, and what happens if I find an issue after I buy? Now, don't expect miracles here. Most dealers don't offer year-long return windows. Some will give you 3 days, some 7, some 0. And believe it or not, zero return policy doesn't always mean they're a shady dealer. It just means that's their rule. But here's the key. By asking, you're testing their willingness to stand by what they sell. Some will surprise you with a limited return option. Others will say flat out no. Either way, you'll know exactly where you stand. The same goes for repair policy. Every used car has a federally required buyer's guide in the window. If it says as is, that means if the car breaks in two on the way home, congratulations, you now own 2 cars. Harsh, but true. If the box for dealer warranty is checked, ask for specifics. What's covered? What's not? Is there a dollar limit? Many of these warranties look comforting, but cover almost nothing beyond powertrain basics. So don't buy into warm and fuzzy words. Get it in writing. And if you think that's the most important thing you'll learn about your car's past, wait until you hear the next one. Example 5, where the car actually came from. Here's the secret. Dealers love to tell stories of this beauty was traded in by a loyal customer who took perfect care of it. Sounds nice, right? But you can catch them in a lie with one look at the Carfax or auto check. So the question is, where did this car come from? Because here's the truth, a lot of used cars are auction buys. And while that doesn't automatically make them bad, repeated auction flips are a giant red flag. If a car keeps bouncing from dealer to dealer, ask yourself why nobody wanted to keep it. Leased cars are another common source. You'll see this with 3-year-old vehicles that suddenly flood the market. And rental cars? Think Tahoes, Suburbans, Yukons. Most of those were driven hard by fleets, not families. That doesn't mean they're bad, but you should know before you buy. The beauty of asking this question is that you can test whether the salesperson is telling the truth. If they say, oh yeah, it was a local trade, but the Carfax shows it came from out of state at an auction, you've just caught them red-handed. And catching someone in a lie before you hand over your money? That's priceless. And now for the question that dealerships truly hate. Bonus example. The inspection and amp, repair reveal. If you only take one thing away from this video, let it be this question. What inspection process did you do, and what items did you fix to make it retail ready? Why? Because this one slices right through the smoke and mirrors. Some dealers only do an oil change and a quick detail before sticking the car on the lot. Others run it through a 100-point inspection and replace anything questionable. By asking, you find out exactly what level of care went into the car you're about to spend thousands on. And here's the kicker. Once they tell you what they fixed, you gain another layer of leverage. Did they replace brakes? Good. Did they patch dents? Okay. Did they do nothing? That's a sign you need your own mechanic to check the car before buying. Dealers hate this question because it forces them to show their hand. It's one thing to brag about inspections and ads, it's another to look you in the eye and admit they didn't do much. And that honesty, or lack of it, tells you everything you need to know about whether this dealer is worth your trust. Conclusion, so let's recap. Before you sign for any car, ask: 1. What fees are hidden beyond the price and taxes? 2. How long has this salesperson been with the dealership? 3. What non-factory items are installed on this car? 4. What's the return and repair policy if something goes wrong? 5. Where did this car really come from? And finally, the bonus. What inspection process did you do, and what items did you fix? These aren't just questions. They're your shield against the games dealers play every single day. Most buyers walk in blind and end up frustrated, broke, or both. But now you've got the playbook they don't want you to know. So, the next time you're at a dealership, remember, the person with the right questions always wins. If this helped you feel more prepared, imagine how much more you'll save with what's coming next. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it, and let me know in the comments which of these questions you're going to use first. Because the truth is, buying a car doesn't have to be a nightmare, not if you know exactly what to ask.